Alright, so I want to show off my cook system. I like to do a lot of solo hiking, so I was really attracted to the Snow Peak 450 because it's really pretty. This is the only, cup that you can cook in it. It's green, and I'm sorry, I like my stuff to be really pretty. It's very small, so finding the right stove was really tricky. So what I came up with was a candle tea light system. It's very small because you want to make sure that the flame is actually under the cup and not going around it. And it's almost too small, so I have to kind of like do the process twice. So here I've got a cat food tin where I poked holes with a can opener just to kind of as a stand. So this is going to go right in there. I'm using heat. This is way more than I need to carry, but I just need to find a smaller container. So I'm going to fill it up as best I can. This one is 2 tea lights fit into each other, and it's actually got a little bit of insulation from my attic in it too. That looks about right. So here I'm just going to use a match. You could just throw it in, but I notice that the wood tends to burn different and it scorches the cup. So I just kind of keep the match separate. And it lit right away. You kind of give it a chance to kind of get lit, and there is some that spill out, which is fine. I carry a windscreen. It's not windy all right now, so I don't think I'm going to use it, but if it is windy, this is perfect to block the wind. I'm only doing a half cup because we're making mashed potatoes in a Ziploc freezer bag. And I only brought, oh, it's a really big flame. I only brought half the bag because it's just 2 of us. We're just going to nibble on it. So in here I got a cup, which is perfect. I did bring like a small piece of cloth so I can have like a little pop of it. It's a very big flame. You gotta be careful because when it's really bright you really can't see that flame. Wow. So unfortunately the tea light, it doesn't hold enough fuel to get it to a boil, but I do the process twice. When it burns out, I make sure it's totally out and I refill it and do it again. And it doesn't give me a real boil, but it'll get the water hot enough for potatoes. So I carry everything inside the cup. I carry the windscreen in this. Even box of 8 matches goes in there. And my little trick, this is a cat food, dog food can lid, and that fits right on top. You can't cook with it. My idea was for it to insulate it, but it just kind of scorched the edge. But it does fit on there and it keeps all the contents in. So I'm going to let that go, and like I said, I do the process twice. And I don't like to wash anything, so I cook right inside of the bag. But I love this cup, and I'll drink my instant breakfast, my Carnations instant breakfast in the morning in it, or you can have coffee. That's about it. I'm hungry. Okay, I wanted to give you guys a little bit more of a close-up of how I made my stove. I used 2 tea lights. The one is actually a little bit shorter, and I guess maybe it doesn't matter. What I did, I had to snip a couple spots so I can kind of push it in. So on the top piece, I poked several holes around the in a circle and in the middle. Inside, I've got a piece of fiberglass from my attic that's supposed to make the flame burn a little longer, and that just fits together really snug. It doesn't come apart unless I pull it apart. For my pot stand, I've got a cat food can that we all know and love. I don't know what it's called, but I used the end of my manual can opener. It's got the little triangle puncher, and I just kind of added some holes so the air could kind of go in and out, and that fits perfectly in there. For my windscreen, I took a pan, a foil pan from the dollar store, and just kind of cut it. It's about the same height as the pot, so that way when the pot is on top of when the pot's on top of there, this rock is not really flat. Just no matter where the wind's coming from, I can kind of position it just to block the wind, and that works really well. What's nice about this whole kit is that it all folds up and fits in there. I'll usually put a little cloth in there just to wipe down my pot when I'm done. And I showed in the earlier clip how the cat food lid just fits right on top of there. And this has worked really well. This, I think I mentioned the other one, it only fits about a half a liter in there, but that's perfect if you just want to warm something up like tea, or maybe warm up water for potatoes. If you want to get a full boil, you wait till it's burnt out, cool down for a moment, and then you can add more fuel, relight it again, that gets you pretty close to a boil.